of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know, nobody know. If I ever had to leave my home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize, be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize, Creole and Garifuna.
Pleasant good morning. Here we are once again to do our daily devotion. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. There's a lot of information out there, and you have to be very, very careful about which one you listen to and what you accept as truth. I see very educated people refusing to do proper research, to be able to enlighten themselves properly. It's a terrible thing. I tell you, it's difficult today to just go on the computer, on your phone, and just watch videos and watch documentaries and read them and believe that they're true. A few minutes ago, I saw a video where they're putting a dog that they say is a new dog in Africa. Looks like a cross between a horse and a dog. Now, everything that I know about biology tells me that cannot happen. That has never happened. Where two animals that are very unlike or cross to bring a new breed. Not so. I turned away from that and I knew right away that that is nonsense. I go back to what I was taught some years ago to identify false doctrine. They use the analogy of the bank teller. The bank teller will never be able to find all the counterfeit monies out there. Never. So what is done for the bank teller to be able to identify, even by touch, that the money that is given to them has a problem? They are blindfolded and put in a room, in a dark room, and they just have to be there touching that money and touching that money and touching that money. And eventually, they're able to tell the difference between a real note and a counterfeit note by just knowing what is real and true, not by identifying all the false notes out there. And so we as people of God, you must first be able to identify the truth as given to us from God. But the real thing about this devotion this morning is spreading false information. The Bible warns and it said, you will pay for every idle word. Do not say categorically what you cannot substantiate from a source that is infallible. The only source that is the word of God. Many people out there, when we study the philosophers, as theologians, we have to study philosophy, to study psychology. We do those things because it complements what we know. When we were doing that, it starts to give us the information on why some of these things happen. Man, without going to the scriptures, started to try to understand where we are, who we are, where we come from, what is this is all about. And they came up with some crazy answers. It was until the Christian philosophers got involved that they shed the light saying, hey, look at God and see what he's doing and who we are. And from there, you will get the real truths. The deceitfulness of the human heart is one of the reasons why misinformation is spread. The Bible states in Jeremiah 17:9, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can understand it? This verse points to the inherent human tendency towards sin and falsehood. People may spread wrong information because their own hearts are clouded by biases, a desire to be right, or a lack of genuine concern for the truth. This can be an unconscious act rooted in our fallen nature. Sometimes when you're discussing things with people, they don't even give you an opportunity to speak. They want to give you that bias that they have. I've seen people who don't want you to talk about the things of God and hold to certain things because it is not what they believe. And somehow in their mind, they think that they're the smartest persons around. Propagating falsehood, false doctrine, false information that is really off the charts. Because they went somewhere and they found it, especially if they went on a computer and they found it. That for them is more truth than what the Bible says, because in their mind, the people who read the Bible and the Bible are for people who are not so bright. That's their thought. And we are told we must not in any violent way or aggressive way resist, but anything that man puts that goes against the things of God, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, we must stand up, even at the cost of our lives, and say, I won't do that. Respectfully, I cannot do that because the God that I serve tells me I can't do that. How do we know these things? By reading our Bible diligently following the word of God. Amen.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me Sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me Sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know, nobody know. If I ever had to leave me home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize, be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me Sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me Sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Reamer Gree air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Ream or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there. Expo sponsors include Bowen & Bowen, Smart Belize, Maurice Sharp's Fine Foods Limited, Quality Poultry Products, DigiWallet, Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Cellular World Belize, the European Union, Diversified Life Solutions, the Belize Tourism Board, Tenchtronics, Woodstock, Belize Soca and Culture Fest, Love FM, Love Television, Creme Radio, XTV, Hot Off the Press, Hits 100 Oye FM, Belize Entrepreneur Spotlight, and the BCCI's Western Union.
we are proud to launch the Punta Gorda Digital Connect Center, a space where knowledge meets opportunity.
In today's world, digital access is essential. This center will empower our students and community members with the tools and training needed to succeed. For this, we are grateful to our partnership with UNDP and with the Ministry of E-Governance.
The center you see today is fully equipped. Visitors will have access to modern computers, reliable high-speed internet, training space, and on-site support. Most importantly, it is a safe place for every resident of Punta Gorda and our surrounding villages. It is a proof that with the right tools, training, and support, our communities can compete, grow, and succeed in the digital age. So let us make full use of this center. Let us learn, innovate, and build a brighter future for Punta Gorda and all of Belize.
Every project starts with the right tools. At Builders Hardware, we got everything to get the job moving. Tools, paint, plumbing, electrical, garden, it's all here from construction start to finish. We're also offering a different kind of power tool. Order anytime, anywhere. Pick up in store or get it delivered to your home. Go to shopbuildersbz.com today and save money with our exclusive online deals. Builders Hardware, making it easier.
Pletz Home Builders is the largest house building company in Belize. Pletz combines the best skilled workers, high-grade materials, and the latest technology to produce the highest quality wooden residential structures. Request any size, color, and the home layout you want. Choose from hardwood or painted metal outer walls. Pletz can modify any of their existing house plans to your satisfaction, complete with all the installation services you need anywhere in the country, including ambergris Cree. They can also lift your house to your desired height up to 9 feet. From properly treated and cured lumber to quality sidings and floorings, let Pletz Home Builders give your home the finish you need. For prices or questions, call 823-0398 or go to www.pletzhomebuilders.com. Pletz Home Builders, we build to suit your needs.
Start the new year with big savings on your 2025 property taxes. From January 1st to March 31st, 2025, the Belize City Council is offering incredible property tax discounts that you won't want to miss. Prepay your annual property tax by January 31st, 2025 and enjoy 15% off. Pay by February 28th and you'll save 10%. And if you pay by March 31st, you'll still enjoy a 5% discount. But wait, there's more. Senior citizens can enjoy a fantastic 35% discount upon full payment of property taxes for the property they reside on all year round. Please note, these discounts are available only to property owners who are up to date with their accounts. As you take advantage of this discount, we kindly remind all property owners of your responsibility to visit City Hall or utilize our online platform to complete your payments and to ensure your contact information is accurately updated in our system. For more details on these incentives, visit our Belize City Council Facebook page or give us a call at 227-3073, extension 261 or 264. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
back to your heart.
Foundations. Your work must be grounded upon solid rock, and so should your faith. Join Pastor Louis Wade Jr. weekly for Foundations Bible Study, where he goes deep into the Word of God with biblical teachings for better understanding.
And Jacob said, if you bless me, and if you are with me, and if you take me to that place, and if you bring me back, you will be my God. And God said, okay, you will do fool, but I will walk with you nonetheless.
Tune in on PlusTV Sundays 9:30 a.m. for a new program, or catch the repeats on Mondays 11 a.m. and Thursdays 11 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. We would love to hear from you. Write in and share your thoughts, prayer requests, or even post questions you may have regarding the Bible passages. Email plustvbelize@gmail.com. Foundations. Unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain.
Do you enjoy learning and wanting to know more about Christ your Savior? Then join Phil Sanders in Search of the Lord's Ways every Sunday 7:30 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. on Plus TV for half an hour of beautiful hymns and Bible messages. Messages are repeated on Tuesdays at 1:30 and Fridays at 10:30 a.m. Search in the Word for God's will. Know more and do more for the God we love. In Search of the Lord's Ways with Phil Sanders is being brought to you by the Church of Christ in your area. Be sure to visit.
Mopping, tiles, furniture, and...
Miss, you don't need all of this, man. Only this you need. We make 4 out of this. And it's cheaper than all of them put together.
I want it.
Green Clean. All your cleaning needs in one bottle.
Please get ready to arise and shine. Join us for an unforgettable evening of inspiration, motivation, and worship at the Arise, Shine, Belize event. Mark your calendars, September 13th at 5 p.m. at the Belize Civic Center with Messianic psalmist Paul Wilbur, who wrote many popular worship songs such as Days of Elijah. Paul Wilbur will be leading us in worship and prayer for a powerful shift in our nation.
Hello friends, this is Paul Wilbur, and I'm inviting you to join me in Belize for a night of extravagant worship and prayer that we're calling Belize Arise and Shine. It's a time to break through.
It's time, Belize, to arise and shine. Entrance is completely free. That's September 13th, 5 p.m. at the Belize Civic Center with Paul Wilbur. Don't miss it. Belize, it's time for a breakthrough. Let's be that breakthrough. See you there.
So when we face God, you know something. We're not thinking of the love of the Lord.
Spice up your next event with professional lighting. Call 610-5679 and give your audience an experience they'll never forget. Proper stage lighting ensures stage visibility, motivates, and sets the mood of the atmosphere. We provide services for weddings, concerts, parties, dance recitals, and much more. Captivate your audience. Improve your production today. Call Shamax Productions at 610-5679 for quality and professional stage lighting.
Cyber Realty and Development is the leader in providing solutions to the current land crisis in Belize. For homeowners and investors alike, Cyber Realty is offering special deals on half-acre parcels in its new Emery Village development. Enjoy prime land off mile 37 on the George Price Highway at an unbeatable price. All you need is the initial down payment of $275 Belize dollars. Take advantage and reserve your half-acre home sites today. Emeri Village. Join the community. Invest in your future.
Blessed Gardens is servicing home gardens across the country from the nation's capital and helping Belizeans reconnect with nature. We have everything you need for your home garden, so get growing. We have various types of soils: fortified soil, composted soil, potting soil, and pure compost for your garden. We have quality seeds and over 65 varieties of food seedlings for your garden. We even have organic insecticides available, EM soil treatment, and Polyshade for your excessive sun or rain. Blessed Gardens has all your garden solution in one location. Call 610-5679. Visit us at the Bumapan Market Plaza or enjoy our free deliveries across the country. Blessed Gardens. Get growing, Belize.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Reamer-Gree air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Ream or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving, the Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there. Expo sponsors include Bowen & Bowen, Smart Belize, Maurice Sharp's Fine Foods Limited, Quality Poultry Products, DigiWallet, Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Cellular World Belize, the European Union, Diversified Life Solutions, the Belize Tourism Board, Tenchtronics, Woodstock, Belize Soca and Culture Fest, Love FM, Love Television, Creme Radio, XTV, Hot Off the Press, Hits 100 Oye FM, Belize Entrepreneur Spotlight, and the BCCI's Western Union.
Today, we are proud to launch the Punta Gorda Digital Connect Center, a space where knowledge meets opportunity.
In today's world, digital access is essential. This center will empower our students and community members with the tools.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go?
It's a beautiful Monday morning. Today is the 8th of September and we are live. Thank you so much for watching us, whatever part of the country you're watching us from, whatever part of the world, whether you're watching us live or repeat, we are grateful. We know that many of you watch us on the repeat in the afternoon and evening time, and that's fine with us once you stay connected to PlusTV and specifically to our morning show. We've got great hosts. We've got Pastor Santi who comes in. We've got Pastor Scott who comes in. Kerm Timbrell comes in. And we also have Pastor David Shaw who joins us, and I think on Fridays I see LJ is a staple, my son is a staple on Friday mornings, and it's Monday, which means that I am accompanied by the one and only Brother Fem. Brother Fem, good morning to you. Trust that you had a good and restful weekend and ready for a new week.
Well, God is good. I thank God for having us alive. You know, every morning I get up this morning about 10 to 5, and I began to pray.
Yes.
And I said, God, my heart goes out to our young people. So this morning I want to say welcome to Rise and Shine. If you're visiting from the US up here, welcome, or maybe you decided to say, well, I know I left the United States, but I catch you on the phone, or somehow maybe you're watching us outside. We want to say welcome to Rise and Shine, the best morning show in Belize.
Yes, and the most truthful one, Brother Fem, because we try not to speculate or spin.
Yes, sir.
No assumptions on top of speculations, on top of intuitions. What we will wait for the report. So we have not blamed the state. We cannot lay blame. We refuse to judge and to say this is who did it or did not do it. We were hopeful at the beginning that it was done by vigilantes. Not that we support vigilante, but we did not want to have the state involved in such, because we believe in the rule of law. And then last week, Channel 7 released some grainy video, but sufficient for us to see that a police officer did enter into the frame and then came back out. And so that's a state actor, but once a police officer appears on the scene, then that means that the state is there. And that gives us a very good idea of how powerful policing is, how powerful the state is, how powerful journalism can be, because we should be here to release the truth. Truth is important. So what was done was not according to law or the rule of law, and everybody must follow the rule of law. No, that does not change my opinion that Brian Budna is exactly where he needs to be, which is in a Guatemalan jail. And some people are saying, oh, but how he get there? Yes, we want to know how he got there, of course. That is important. However, that he is there is even more important than how he got there, though we do need to ensure that the state was not involved in it. So were they independent state actors? Were they state actors that were being given instructions by a particular part of the police department? Did ministers of government or the Prime Minister know? Those questions need to be answered because we want truth. And so PlusTV did join with several other media houses to request from government for the footage. So not because I believe that Ryan Budna belongs in prison, that doesn't mean that we should not want the truth. The Bible said the truth shall set you free. And last week I said that if the state is involved, the state needs to just come forward and say that they are involved. We have a telephone call, after which I'm going to do the weather report. We haven't done the weather report yet, but we do have a caller. Caller, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Buiti Benafi, Rev. Buiti Benafi, Brother Fem.
Buiti Benafi. Long time. Yes. But it's good to hear your voice.
Well, the rain tripped me this morning, so I couldn't go to the farm.
Very okay.
So I said, let me try to catch up on you guys.
Yes, sir.
Rev and Brother Fem.
Yes, sir.
I am kind of concerned about these two evil men, because I'm going to call them out for who they are. There's only one constitution that I personally is concerned about, because it never can be violated. And those are the 10 Commandments and the Sermon on the Mount, because that's what I live on. When I heard about these incidents, the only reflection that came to my mind was Sodom and Gomorrah. After the Lord had spoken to Abraham, Abraham appealed for Sodom and Gomorrah. If you find 50, he started from 50 right down to 10, and God promised him, if you find even 10, I will spare Sodom and Gomorrah. When the two angels went to one Lot, what happened? The young men of Sodom and Gomorrah, they tried to break down the doors of Lot. He offered them 2 virgins. He had 2 virgins. After they rejected them, they wanted the 2 men. They wanted the 2 men. And at the end of the day, I think there were only 4 people who were good enough to come out of Sodom and Gomorrah. That was Lot, his wife, and his 2 daughters. And his wife, because she defied God's law, she became a bag of salt. And when I look back again at Noah, it took about over an year to build the ark. And everybody else was making fun of him. And there was only 8 people, Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives, that survived that deluge. The point I'm trying to make, when you defy God's laws, our God is a very miraculous God. He's also a mysterious God. That's what I have learned. Everybody is looking at what they see, but they are not perceiving. I will never justify the wrongs of if they're involved and they are caught to be. But there is a way to deal with that. We have a justice system. We have a way to deal with that. But what I'm talking about is we are trying to make heroes out of evil men. They have left a track of evil here, and they even violated the constitution of another country by doing their evil there. But nobody is calling that out. We are not good, not one of us. But I'm going to say this to you, Rev. Nobody is born a murderer. Nobody is born a pedophile. Nobody is born a lawyer. Even if you have something around you, that's a babe. So that you don't mess yourself up. You know, this is my personal opinion and my personal view about these things. Whatever we are is a choice. We are not born evil. God don't do no bad. Everything he does is good. That's why I referred to Sodom and Gomorrah and the city of Noah. Because God, even he said, as long as 2 or 3 are in my name, he will preserve you. And with his mystery, the work he do things, could he have set that up so that they go to Guatemala? I'm not judging or accusing God, you know. Because nobody is looking in no other direction. And we cannot forget about God in all these things. We need to put him first. I am not against them, nor anything. But these evils that they had perpetrated, they crossed these people's borders and went to perpetrate their evil there. Could it be that God have a hand to get them back there?
Yep.
We don't have time to think about that because we are only looking and we choose not to perceive. There was another story, because my reference is always the scriptures, about a young prophet that went, I don't quite remember the city that he went to, and God had warned him not to eat there with anyone. And there was an old prophet in the city. When he found out that the prophet has left, he went after him, and he told him a lie and said that God told him that he could have lunch with him. He went, and what happened? The lion ate him. God have a way of doing things, and we need to understand. Again, I could make reference to Jezebel and to Rahab. Those are 2 people that God declared. Rahab was a prostitute. And Jezebel was an evil queen, and they predicted the way they should die. She was going to die. But Rahab, like the prodigal son, came to her senses, and I think she's the great-great-grandmother of Jesus Christ, I guess. When you violate God's laws and think that you could get away with it, God have a way. That's why he's a mysterious God, and he's a miraculous God. He have a way of dealing with you because he warned you, and the consequences are normally going to be dire. Now these guys are treated now like heroes. The Belize supposed to now go to Guatemala, but what I'm warning them, if Guatemala chooses not to repatriate, they better learn to live with the reality of that. Because the onus is in their hands right now. If they choose not to, because we have to be more realistic in this country. What I have learned about this country, Rev, that we nurture evil, and we also nurture crime and criminals too much. When you look at these high-profile liars, this is why some people are now convinced that some of these high-profile liars, that crime and criminality is a part of their business. You know? They don't even care about the victims, you know. They don't never care about the victims. But it's always about the criminals. For me, once you have violated your rights to commit a crime and to commit any evil, you don't have any more rights. That's why I love the way in the Old Testament. He who kills willfully must die, and that's why they provide a place of refuge for those who kill accidentally. Whenever you do these evil things, there is a God above. You can always get away from man, and we have forgotten God in this issue. And we want to make these evil guys heroes. I'm not saying if any police enforcement, I agree with you 100%, Rev, must be brought to justice. That's the only thing I see in this. Those who are involved, if they're involved to get him over there, let them be brought to justice. But as far as he's concerned, and the other allegations about the other one, if he had raped and committed murder in the man's land, let them suffer the consequences there. Rev, that's my contribution for this morning.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
I fully support your submission this morning.
Excellent.
I fully support. That is a well thought out, very balanced, clear Judeo-Christian values analysis of the situation.
Man, you know that the Reverend bring out
Tintin, that's the Wellington from Dagriga.
Yeah, maybe better. But that's why I know this is our confirmation.
Yeah, yes.
The man can write they were correcting almost what you're saying, Pastor.
That's proper thinking.
Yes, I love it.
Proper thinking, because we as a nation cannot have our constitution protect a criminal who has severely violated international borders and has become an international criminal, escaped from incarceration for his crimes in a foreign country, namely Guatemala. So he was doing cross-border kidnapping between Honduras and Guatemala. He was arrested and charged. His evidence was placed before the court system in Guatemala. He was convicted and sentenced and ran away from his sentence and came to Belize and began doing the same thing again that he had been convicted for in Belize before he went to Guatemala. And I need to make that very clear, because there are people who say we need to separate Budna from what happened, and I say absolutely not. Because if this Belize constitution can protect Budna while simultaneously not producing the justice needed by his victims, both in Belize and Guatemala, then our constitution is lacking and needs to be tightened so that it can never happen again. So there are lessons to learn.
Yes.
There are constitutional changes to be made, which includes the proper channels with Guatemala in the interim until a treaty can be done, etc. All of that need to be done, either through the United States to Guatemala, Belize to America, America to the Guatemala, or something has to be developed to ensure that the rule of law is observed throughout the entire process. But it is a downright shame and disgrace for our constitution to contain the kind of loopholes which allowed Joseph Ryan Budna to run while in the country of Belize, to have free access to internet as a convicted pedophile, to be able to perpetuate the kind of public sentiment that he was able to do, when in truth in any other country he would never have this level of access to the internet. His access would be restricted. Therefore, a person like Joseph Ryan Budna should not have the full rights and privileges under the Belize Constitution, just like a person who is in prison. Budna was on bail. He was on multiple bails, and I have requested the entire criminal history of Budna to show Belize that our constitution and our justice system failed, because no one, I don't care what the laws say, that a person should be able to have bail upon bail upon bail, because they're consistently creating criminal action and they are abusing and violating the conditions of their bail and still be out in the general public. And so I hope that the government is able to see that a character such as Joseph Ryan Budna has the full potential to overthrow a government, that Joseph Budna has the full potential to destabilize a democracy. This is not a person to be treated in an ordinary way, from the fact that he was convicted in Belize of child molestation, of sexual assault on a child, and had multiple arrests and charged for the same afterwards. He should never have been allowed to generate the level of fame, not even infamy, the fame. He was reinventing himself in the public domain, and I hope the government can deal harshly through new legislation and through the rule of law to ensure that a person like Joseph Ryan Budna can never again destabilize a democracy the way he is doing right now as we speak. And I say so without apology. I say so without apology, because now you can see as a nation that there are gullible people in this country, including in the legal system, that can use a person like Ryan to destabilize the government. So I speak categorically that everything should have been done by the rule of law. I speak categorically that the rule of law was insufficient, which is why Ryan remained in limbo. And that I say categorically that those issues of rule of law need to be rectified constitutionally and by ordinary law to ensure that this can never happen again, because we cannot have the state acting outside of the rule of law to deal with an issue like Budna. I am not saying that the state did it. I refuse to say that until the evidence proves so. But we need to ensure that the state has the legal instruments to decisively deal with the kind of people that exist in this country, like Joseph Ryan Budna. You play with puppy, lick your tongue. Play with people like him. Because Brian Budna is right now in the Guatemalan jail. They try to get access to internet. They try to get access to continue to destabilize the government. And he is not in Belize, therefore he can make any kind of allegation, and he has enough gullible Belizeans that are listening to every gossip, yeriso, and accusation that he has to say. As far as I am concerned, the credibility of Joseph Ryan Budna is zero. Yes. Zero. So I look forward to see the report handed to the Prime Minister. I look forward to an independent investigation because we do need the truth to come out. Yes. But I look forward to legislative and constitutional change that will not allow a person like that to ever again access internet and to be able to create the kind of environment that destabilizes the government, any government. I don't care if the PUP or UDP, but no fraudster, trickster, extortionist, convicted kidnapper, convicted child molester, convicted pedophile, convicted and under arrest and charged for I believe one of the charges is abetment to murder and other offenses should be able to be given the opportunity to hide under the constitution of the nation of Belize. So the constitution has to be improved, and the rule of law needs to be, this bridge needs to be created to ensure that government and government officials act lawfully, but that these people are dealt with.
I agree.
Dealt with to the full extent of the law.
Yes, and men, as you mentioned also, and I agree with you, Pastor. People, when I tell you people who I know educated, people with are smart people, they support this man, you know. And I don't meditating what the guys talk about the amount of things that gentleman did, and not one day you hear that like them, you know, like now the topic is all about what the gentleman, no? So as I say, I totally support what you're saying, and I want to encourage our people out there to support when there's something good. And all the time it's good to have people that love this country, taking out his time, Pastor Wade and the folks here at PlusTV, so you could learn and say, well, that's true because the man got the fact.
Yes, yes. We would never support anything that is done outside the rule of law, Brother Fem. And there are things that were done outside the rule of law. I also believe that no person should be beaten. It doesn't matter what a person has done, right? Because we have a system that dictates how a person should be treated when in police custody, right? So I can't say, we know that there is some level of state actors, that's what we call the police officers, who were seen. But there is also a concern that I do have, because when you and I look at the video, if we could just show the video that was aired, like we need to understand several things that as a person who is in media for a long time. See, you see how it looked like day, right, Brother Fem?
Yeah, Pastor.
You see how it looked like day? But it didn't happen at day, right? It happened at night.
Yes, sir.
Correct? So what you are seeing here is is a technology that is night vision technology. Because you will hear Jules say that the vehicle, when you will see the vehicle, and then I will talk about this police officer right there, because we can see that that person is a police officer. But there is something that we need to understand, is that right now you and I are seeing clearer than how that police officer would have seen. Right? Because whether police officer would have seen a black, correct?
Yes.
Because when did it happen? At night. So and this vehicle, you see, it is Jules that has to say that vehicle is the blue vehicle. But is that vehicle blue that we are seeing? It's not blue, right? It look white, right? Because again of the night technology. So you and I and those who watch the video are watching a video camera that take the night and turn it into day. Right? So you and I have a benefit that that police officer does not have. Because when that police officer step out of the station to come to the scene, I don't know how close he came to the scene, but that was night. It was night time. Only to you and I, it looks like day because we are watching the video. But the police never come out with night goggles. He did not come out with night goggles. So I don't know how much lighting is in the air that he would have been able to. So I look. That's why I look forward to the. I look forward to the investigation. And from last week, we did call for the independent investigation, and we have also called for the release of the video. Now, whether or not they will release that video or the video that incriminates anybody, I don't know, because there is a court process that may have to follow, and you cannot take evidence and then just put it in the public domain. So there are rules to that, because if there are going to be any kind of court action and it requires jury, your jury don't see the video. So it perverts the course of justice to have evidence in the public domain. And so what is going to be released should not jeopardize the case itself, if there is a case that is to be answered. So that is important.
Yes, very, very important.
Yeah. So there, like what Wellington said when he called in, is you have the laws of God and you have the laws of man. The Bible said that the laws of God are perfect. The law of God is perfect. The law of man is not perfect. All right? So the law of man is not perfect. That's why we have to go to Parliament and pass new laws all the time. The law of man is not perfect. And sometimes when you create a law, you create loopholes are created. And we need to get rid of loopholes, because no criminal should hide in a loophole. And that is, I have a major problem with defense lawyers. I have a major problem with defense lawyers because most of the time they are defending the criminal.
In what way?
They defend the criminal. The criminal will employ them to be their defense. And so, to me, they are the best ones to help us strengthen laws. Criminal defense lawyers are the best ones to help strengthen laws, because they know the weaknesses, they know the loopholes, they know the areas where police drop through. Because remember, there are several things that make a court decide to let go a person, and it's not necessarily because they never commit the crime. They commit the crime. In many instances, they do commit the crime, but the state was unable to prove the case. And many times it's because of the way the laws are written, or because of the way the evidence was kept. It can also be because the defense lawyers that work independently are far more experienced than the ones who work in prosecution, etc., etc., etc. So people get off. That is why you see that when a person really, really want to get off, then go for the most expensive defense lawyer, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes,
right.
Yes,
They go for the most expensive defense lawyer. Carla, good morning. You're on the air live. Thank you for joining us.
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Dark morning. Better corruption lands, right?
Okay.
Where they go on there? They go on everywhere. Everywhere they take land for Paul and they give Saul. They take land for their own family and they give the next family. Where they go on everywhere? People got land for 15, 20 years then. A politician have to stop there. What they do, brother? So like what you say, they got too much power. The land ministry are so busy out of politician hand, brother. You can't just take your land power cousin and give the next cousin, brother. Somebody will got something for 20 years or they save for their kids. Ready? And then the right bread. Squirtle and everybody have to take up. Go take with some land of Placencia. Go take with the pint and the place there. Go take with one real lot for a poor man to go get another somebody that. And then all right. Because man, they save their land to get their kids tomorrow. Why you don't go take away? You don't got so much land on a politician. Nobody can touch for nothing. All they heard a poor man land on the take away and they give somebody else. Then they have to stop, brother. You can't just take away a poor man land and go get a next man that right, so. Look, if the least heard a what? You listen to me, bread? Amen, because their lands places have corruption, brother. You can't just do people that because we do what politics as they do. They sit down in your village and pick your best land and pick it off and give a crony and a crony sell it for 50,000. We know directly what they have in that believe. And the poor man not get nothing because only the politician crony they get 50,000 and then they get rich and they buy a SUV and we can't do nothing the poor man. We just wait for the court take what we land. So that's better corruption have to stop, brother. Colonel have to tighten up where there. Stop make commissioner to take away my poor man land.
And what do you mean
man.
if you can...
Yeah, that bread.
Okay.
Yeah,
what do you mean by take away poor land man? Does the poor man have a title for his land?
Brother, when the time man own a land 16 years, it doesn't matter. Yeah, everybody did it, and they have to put in 35 load of sand in our yard. Because of swamp that I believe that brother, your neck water there. I don't know who anybody is doing when I don't put it in. Alright. Me get this land for Bob Dales in a swamp with my neck. Alright. See, but we don't got no power to do what they do with. Yeah, we have to take with somebody power from the politician before election also. That's why I make them know what we want to do because they got so much power. Amen. Because we don't trust them. Straight talk. We don't trust them. Later, bread.
Thank you very much for your call. Like here in Belmopan, we had a situation, Brother Fem, where the people are claiming that they are in Belmopan and that they have their farmland and that they've been there 12 to 15 years, etc., etc. But it's not Belmopan land because Belmopan is landlocked. Belmopan is landlocked. And anybody who is very, very close to Belmopan and is squatting on land is really squatting on millions of dollars of value, because any land very close to the city is going to eventually be part of the city because the city expands. And so when people squat on land and they're telling you, but this is my chicken coop, this is my plantain tree, and I have it there for 15 years, the government cannot condone that kind of action because there is no national land around Belmopan. There's no national land. There's only private farmland. So if you are squatting on land around Belmopan, you are squatting on land that is owned. There is no free land around Belmopan. You might have land where people not chop long time. You might have land where people not cut down the trees in there. You might have land where the owners that are states, but you don't have free land around Belmopan. You might have national land back all different places. There may be free land around, right?
Yes,
but in other close to Belmopan. So if a person comes and sits on 4 or 5 acres of land just outside of Belmopan, you are really sitting on about maybe $500,000. You're sitting on $1 million, but you just got duck and chicken pan it. Because eventually, if you get the title for that, you will sell it because the city have to expand. All right? So it's a very tricky thing. It's a very tricky thing, and that's why it goes through the court. Because once the court decides that you have to get off and the court presents that paper, that's it for you, right? It doesn't matter if after the court present the paper, it takes 5 years, 10 years to come back for take you off. Because once the court or an individual present you with that paper, time stop right at that point. So even if you stay on the land 5, 10 years more, nobody will add that to the amount of time you have spent there. Because 10 years ago, you got a paper that said you need to come off. You see? So that is something that we need to understand. It is the same thing with the lands around Belize City. But the problem is that Belize City is growing, but the government is not cutting up those lands in time, filling them, putting them there in time, the amount that is needed. And so people go and squat. And that continues to put pressure on the government because really and truly, it is the government in a country like Belize or private enterprise that should be creating land for people to buy and put up their houses. We have a caller. Caller, good morning. All right, we lost the call. It's 9 minutes after 8 o'clock. We have to take a break and we'll come back. There is a lot more news. I know there's been a murder in the south. We have some multiple drownings. There are things that we want to talk about. There is that referendum that's getting ready to take place in Kikaka, etc. that we need to talk about. So we'll be right back after these messages.
Land and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know, nobody know. If I ever had to leave my home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize, be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna, Mestizo and Maya, living in peace.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Remergree air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Rheem or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving, the Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there. Expo sponsors include Bowen & Bowen, Smart Belize, Maurice Sharp's Fine Foods Limited, Quality Poultry Products, DigiWallet, Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Cellular World Belize, the European Union, Diversified Life Solutions, the Belize Tourism Board, Tenchtronics, Woodstock, Belize Soca and Culture Fest, Love FM, Love Television, Creme Radio, XTV, Hot Off the Press, Hits 100 Oye FM, Belize Entrepreneur Spotlight, and the BCCI's Western Union.
Today, we are proud to launch the Punta Gorda Digital Connect Center, a space where knowledge meets opportunity.
In today's world, digital access is essential. This center will empower our students and community members with the tools and training needed to succeed. For this, we are grateful to our partnership with UNDP and with the Ministry of E-Governance.
The center you see today is fully equipped. Visitors will have access to modern computers, reliable high-speed internet, training space, and on-site support. Most importantly, it is a safe place for every resident of Punta Gorda and our surrounding villages. It is a proof that with the right tools, training, and support, our communities can compete, grow, and succeed in the digital age. So let us make full use of this center. Let us learn, innovate, and build a brighter future for Punta Gorda and all of Belize.
Every project starts with the right tools. At Builders Hardware, we got everything to get the job moving. Tools, paint, plumbing, electrical, garden, it's all here from construction start to finish. We're also offering a different kind of power tool. Order anytime, anywhere. Pick up in store or get it delivered to your home. Go to shopbuildersbz.com today and save money with our exclusive online deals. Builders Hardware, making it easier.
Pletz Home Builders is the largest house building company in Belize. Pletz combines the best skilled workers, high-grade materials, and the latest technology to produce the highest quality wooden residential structures. Request any size, color, and the home layout you want. Choose from hardwood or painted metal outer walls. Pletz can modify any of their existing house plans to your satisfaction, complete with all the installation services you need anywhere in the country, including ambergris Cree. They can also lift your house to your desired height up to 9 feet. From properly treated and cured lumber to quality sidings and floorings, let Pletz Home Builders give your home the finish you need. For prices or questions, call 823-0398 or go to www.pletzhomebuilders.com. Pletz Home Builders, we build to suit your needs.
Start the new year with big savings on your 2025 property taxes. From January 1st to March 31st, 2025, the Belize City Council is offering incredible property tax discounts that you won't want to miss. Prepay your annual property tax by January 31st, 2025 and enjoy 15% off. Pay by February 28th and you'll save 10%. And if you pay by March 31st, you'll still enjoy a 5% discount. But wait, there's more. senior citizens can enjoy a fantastic 35% discount upon full payment of property taxes for the property they reside on all year round. Please note, these discounts are available only to property owners who are up to date with their accounts. As you take advantage of this discount, we kindly remind all property owners of your responsibility to visit City Hall or utilize our online platform to complete your payments and to ensure your contact information is accurately updated in our system. For more details on these incentives, visit our Belize City Council Facebook page or give us a call at 227-3073, extension 261 or 264. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Time to give the weather report, so make I just tell everybody, I'm hot today, I'm hot today. Temperatures inland 95 degrees Fahrenheit, coast 98 will be the high, and in the hills 83 will be the high. That normally you know that 8 is in the hills, and those are the highs for today. And it says cloudy spells with a few showers and thunderstorms increasing around the country tonight. So there will be moist and unstable weather conditions. The sun is out right now, I think, in Belmopan. But they say for Tuesday, expect showers and few thunderstorms around the country, increasing and affecting mainly the southern areas on Tuesday night. So we are heading into the 10th of September. This last night we had National Day of Prayer at the foot of the National Assembly. We are praying for our country, we are praying for our government, where we are praying against that referendum that is being held. One person told me that I don't know referendum, that I want referendum, because Kikaka is not going to, I think somebody is selling them like Satan told Eve that she needed to eat that fruit and that her eyes will be open, but it's a lie, you know? And I think that there's some people who have bought the lie in Kikaka to believe that legalization of marijuana is going to bring them money. And we are going to show them and prove to Kikaka and the leaders of Kikaka that on the contrary, you will lose millions of dollars in revenue per year. And I will show them it because I will take the letter and I will take all the signatures of all of the leaders that take thousands of students and Christians to that island every year. And these leaders have vowed that if Kikaka legalizes marijuana, they will not take their groups back to the island. And I've calculated it. We're well over $1 million. Wow. And I'm still waiting to hear from several ministries. So we will take tangible proof. And when we will present it to the Chair Lady of Kikaka and say, this is what your community will lose in dollars per year. These are the businesses that we support in Kikaka to the tune of millions of dollars. And this is money you will not see again if you legalize marijuana. And so these ministry leaders that take their people out to Kikaka have agreed that their students, their congregations that visit Belize on an annual basis, thousands of people, Brother Fem, will not go back to Kikaka because they do not want their people to be exposed to that kind of tourism. So I need to state that again categorically this morning. So there is work to do. but I am hoping that there are some rational-minded, God-fearing, country-loving people in Kikaka that will not allow the legalization of marijuana to occur. Kikaka is too beautiful to become an experiment of what marijuana can do to a society.
A lot of case to work, Pastor, but I want to ask the church to continue to pray for you, because you're a voice for all of us. And I think if we never have someone like you, a lot of things will just blow over like one breeze. But thank God, and I want to encourage you to continue to support Rise and Shine. Continue to encourage your young people to sit down and watch something very educational, because we repeat this show, and I think we have repeated this coming weekend as well. So
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We repeat at 3:30, I think, and in the night time and on weekends.
Yeah.
We'll take this call. There is a call on the line. Good morning, caller. Thank you for calling.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm calling from the Santa Elena area, right?
Yes, sir.
I would like, first thing I'd like you to know that Belize is a free and democratic country, right? The second thing, Brother Wade, I'm a Christian now, so I would like you to know that before you go around criticizing your brother, I believe you all should come around and gather and pray for your brother. We are all not perfect, right? And I believe the way you're behaving like this is because you are a senator, right? And that shouldn't be, right? You shouldn't use your power to get your voice out there, right? Bodna is a man the same as me and you. He have family, and his family are listening. They feel same way you would feel if would be one of your son or something would get into this situation like this. Understand?
Sir, you say that you are a Christian? You are a Christian, sir?
Excuse me?
You said that you are a Christian?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have a question for you. What does the Bible say that Jesus said is to be done with a person who hurts children? What does the Bible say is to be done with a person who harms children? Since you are a Christian, I put that question to you. Answer that question for me. What did Jesus say with his own mouth?
Brother Wade, we should all love one another, right? We are not perfect, right? We are not perfect.
I am waiting for you to answer the question. I have asked you a very specific question.
Yes, I understand. That's a good question. But you feel like you're the smartest of all Jonathan, right? Yeah, you're the smartest of all Jonathan. You were the other day you were arguing concerning no police here,
That's
you
not.
See the clip. You see the clip. Now you change your mouth the other day. You change your mouth. No, what you want to say? What you want to say? Now who can your farmers? The guys there you got they do your farming for you. Where they deliver your soil for you? Okay, Pastor. Okay, I will listen off line.
Okay?
Okay, thank
If
you.
you have comment on me, maybe listen half time.
Yes. So
Thank you.
let me repeat what I said, because I have not changed my mind about a single thing that I have said from the very beginning. Number one thing I said is that I am glad that Budna is in prison in Guatemala. That's the number one thing that I said. I am still saying that I have not said anything else. I am happy. Number two, justice is catching up with Mr. Budna. Mr. Budna is a convicted pedophile. He was convicted in Belize. He escaped from prison in Belize. He was caught, finished serving his time. He went over to Guatemala and formed a kidnapping ring. When in Budna's own words, he said that it wasn't kidnapping. He said it was extortion. That's what Budna said from his mouth. He said the guys who were with me, and they were minors, by the way, he took them into Honduras, and then he says that the children wrote their parents or called their parents to say, I am being kidnapped by Ryan Budna, and you need to send money. And then what they were going to do, if those very wealthy people send money, Budna and the boys, minors, would have spent that money. That is Budna's version of the story, which is still extortion, and he was still messing around with minors, though he had been convicted of pedophilia in Belize. When Budna was being caught by the police in Guatemala, he was shooting at the police officers in Guatemala. And so when they captured him, he was arrested and charged not only for kidnapping, but for also shooting back at the police. And he was convicted again in Guatemala and went to jail. What I am telling you is not gossip, it is not judging, it is facts. I am telling you facts. When Budna came back to Belize, Budna went to My Refuge Christian Radio. Richard is on record last night in saying that he prayed for Budna, told Budna you need to change your ways, gave Budna food, gave Budna lodging, gave Budna footwear, and encouraged him to do the right thing, to turn his life over to God. Budna did not do that. Instead, Budna came back to Belize and began to practice his pedophilia again. He was arrested and charged, and we are going to play the clip now then, so that people can have an idea of who Budna is. Not by Yeriso. Me not talk about Yeriso. I'm not talking about speculation. And I am not talking about what the brother, because he said he is a Christian. I will count him for that, even though he could not say what Jesus said should be done with people who hurt children.
Yes, that's right.
So, but there are people like that who pretend to be Christian, and then they will say judge not and all kind of stupid things that they themselves do not understand. Because Jesus did not say judge not. Jesus said judge a righteous judgment. So they don't even understand what Jesus means when he said judge not. So essentially, Budna came back into the country and continued to do his unrighteous deeds in the public domain. Brother Fem, you are a witness, because you told the country through Rise and Shine that recently, so this is years later, after Richard took him in and tried to help him live a godly life, he was in Roaring Creek at, is it Ken Barber? Where was it?
Brother Will resident.
At Brother Will resident, another believer who was trying to help him again to turn his life over to God. Am I correct?
That's right, Pastor.
Absolutely correct. So we speak on facts, Brother Finn. We do not speak on speculation. So I have not. What I have said is that I will not just go and say that the state do it, that the police do it. I'm not. That's not my character. I don't function like that.
Yes.
What I said was that I was hoping that it is vigilante. Though I do not support vigilante, it had already happened, so I was hoping that the state is not involved. And I am still hoping that the state is not involved as I sit here right now. But I said when the video came out that if the state did it, the state needs to come clean. And so nothing that I have said is contrary to scripture. We have said that I don't believe that Budna should have been beaten. And I have also said that the state needs to act by rule of law. None of what I have said contradicts what I said before. And I maintain Budna belongs in a Guatemalan prison because he has broken Guatemalan law. Now, we can discuss and we can have an investigation, and we have called an independent investigation on how did it happen. And laws were broken. I think those people should pay for the penalty also, because we cannot tolerate any criminal activity. But I also said we need to improve our constitution and we need to improve our laws to ensure that a Joseph Ryan Budna or my son, if he behave like that, I don't care who it is. Laws should not be dependent upon who it is. So there has to be a system, a legal system that can get Joseph Ryan Budna over to Guatemala. And there needs to be a system. And I'm saying it categorically. There needs to be a system. And yes, I am saying it as a senator, that there needs to be legislation that ensures that a person like Joseph Ryan Budna cannot get bail upon bail upon bail while actively continuing in a life of crime. Any reasonable person would agree with me. Any reasonable person would agree with me that a person who has been on bail should not continue to be create offense in law where he is getting multiple bails.
Amen.
Any reason, you don't even have to be a Christian for understand that. You just need to be a person with common sense to recognize that you cannot have people within your country that can continue to do wrong and are on multiple instances of bail. That is common sense. So the laws have to be changed, tightened, and the Constitution needs to be improved to ensure that the rule of law can take care of people like Joseph Ryan Budna. And I say so categorically, and I can defend that in Parliament, I can defend that on the morning show, I can defend that in a court, I can defend that anywhere in the world, that any reasonable person would agree with me that a Joseph Ryan Budna should not be allowed to be using in the public space, the internet, as a convicted pedophile, while simultaneously is a bail upon bail upon bail for offenses that deal with children. I can defend that anywhere in the world in a reasonable environment. Let's play the clip so that people can see. And this is a news clip from PlusTV 2021. It has, I think it has more than 1.2 million million views already from 2001 to now. Wow. But I want you to hear this news piece. Listen to it as it starts and notice that Budna, this is him, after he come back, run away from Guatemala and come back home. Listen to the stack of accusations and charges that were levied against him. Listen carefully.
Budna has been remanded to prison. Budna appeared in the Belmopan Magistrates Court this afternoon before Magistrate Kiana Gordon, where he was read 2 counts of sexual assault on a male minor age 16, which allegedly occurred on August 13th.
Stop right there. I want to hear that. This is after Budna come back from Guatemala. After he done get convicted of Belize, done serve 10 years, gone to Guatemala, do mischief in Guatemala, run away from Guatemala, come back to Belize, and he don't have charges again with assault of a minor. Right? I want to categorically state, just for those who know, get it, that I 100% distance myself from assisting any Joseph Ryan Budna from getting any kind of freedom from any system in the world. I distance myself 100%, and I will not separate what happened to Joseph Ryan Budna from Joseph Ryan Budna. So for those who say we need to separate the two, I, Louis Wade, Senator Reverend Louis Maximo Wade Jr. say, I will not separate the two things. Will not separate the two things. Anyway, start the video again.
Before Magistrate Kiana Gordon, where he was read 2 counts of sexual assault on a male minor age 6, remanded to prison. Budna appeared in the Belmopan Magistrates Court this afternoon before Magistrate Kiana Gordon, where he was read 2 counts of sexual assault on a male minor age 16, which allegedly occurred on August 13th. The prosecutor, Sergeant Koch, objected to bail since Budna was currently out on Supreme Court bail for a similar sexual offense. Magistrate Gordon agreed and denied him bail in the first instance, remanding him to the Belize Central Prison until November 2021. On July 2nd of this year, Madam Justice Antoinette Moore granted Budna conditional Supreme Court bail for a sexual assault charge that he was initially denied bail for at the lower court. However, Joseph Budna's troubles have just begun. On Monday, August 16th, the International Criminal Police Organization, known as Interpol, issued a red notice for the arrest of Joseph Budna, 41 years old. On its official social media page, Crime Stoppers International reports that Budna is wanted in the United States on charges of hostage-taking, conspiracy to commit hostage-taking, using and carrying a firearm during and in relation to a crime of violence, and says it is possible that he fled home to Belize. Budna had also fled Guatemala in 2019 after a 30-year prison sentence was handed down on charges of robbery, kidnapping, extortion, and escape. He had been in a hospital in Guatemala for medical treatment at the time of his escape. He was officially free as he faced no charges here, and Belize and Guatemala have no extradition treaty.
All right. So you hear that, Brother Fem? Yes. So he come back, get arrested and charged for assault of a minor, because sexual assault of a minor, right? Because under Dean Barrow, they changed what would have been sodomy, right? Sodomy would have been the charge. But then change the law, so you only hear assault of a minor, sexual assault of a minor, but he may get charged for sodomy. But Caleb Orozco and his crew and Unibam, who are out there right now, the talk about bring the video, they changed section 53. But this may be the man who may they get charged for section 53 plus other charges simultaneously. So he can get arrested and charged, right? And so he made up on bail. Then they arrest and charge her again with 2 counts of sexual assault, and then the magistrate never give her bail. Then Antoinette Moore come and give her Supreme Court bail. So he can get bail, patapa bail, for sexual assault of minor, for being a pedophile, for the hurt children. So something wrong with the system.
Yes.
So not tell me about no rule of law, because no rule of law, due process. Not tell me about due process, because due process was failing right there. Due process failed right there. When he was given bail on top of bail for assault of minor. That means Belize is not taking care of its children. And all of them defense lawyers know that. They know that. Right? So now instead of the right letter to say that Joseph Budner should have been properly addressed by the justice system in Belize from 2021, this is now 2025, that only now they were right. And they're not the right on behalf of the victims of Joseph Budner, then the right on behalf of Budner. So we only think about the constitutional rights of Budner and not the constitutional rights of all the children that he raped. What happened to the constitutional right? And so why is it that our constitution cannot give justice to the victims, but our constitution is being used to try to give justice to Budner? So that is its injustice. And I know the talk fool. I know I the talk sense. I know what I am talking about, because nobody in Belize should be able to touch and hurt our children and get bail, and then hurt our children and get bail, and then another 16-year-old gets shot and killed in a bed. And then you have abetment to commit murder, and then hinder on Facebook still to give life. That country is corrupt. Any country that allows a Joseph Ryan Budner with all of that to exist is corrupt. And those who support that system are equally corrupt. They're equally corrupt. Because you have no love for your children, but you are demonstrating love for a Joseph Ryan Budner, and then you want to separate what he has done from the consequences of his actions. Whether the consequences occurred in Belize or Guatemala is irrelevant. We have a caller.
Yes, good morning, Louis. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning.
Louis, as usual, man, listen, I agree with your passion. I am not going to say that you said anything wrong, but just allow me to say a couple of things.
Of course, of course.
We have in Belize a Crime Control and Criminal Justice Act. Under Section 16 of that act, it lays out all the offenses that a magistrate cannot grant bail for which bail can only be granted at the High Court level. Now, in the case of unlawful sexual intercourse or sexual assault of a minor, that has to go to the Supreme Court for bail to be granted.
Mm-hmm.
But the only offense in Belize under which bail is not automatically granted is murder.
And
So
that
it's
is
not
why Arthur, hold a minute.
Hold on.
I will allow you to continue to speak, and that is why I am saying the law is wrong. I categorically state.
Yes.
I categorically state
Louis, hold on, 1 minute.
that law is
1
wrong.
minute. We fought, and I fought side by side with the Council of Churches in relation to Section 53 and maintaining it on the books. But it's Parliament that makes the laws, Louis.
That is correct.
Parliament makes the laws. The judges have to follow the laws that Parliament makes.
Absolutely.
So that is the rule of law.
Yes.
Parliament makes the law.
Yes.
The judges must follow. That is the rule.
Yes, yes.
So all I am saying
Yes.
here is this, and I'm not asking anybody to forget the crimes of Budna. All I am saying, in that news piece that you played just now, the United States wanted him.
Yes.
We have an extradition treaty with the United States.
Yes.
So he could have been arrested and extradited legally.
Yes.
To the United States of America, but the authorities chose to commit a crime.
Yes. Yes.
Same people that make our laws,
Hold.
to enforce our laws, chose to commit a crime.
Hold. Which is why I believe that an independent investigation needs to include why a Ryan Joseph Budna was still walking free, having unfettered access to internet, whatever, and to tighten the laws in this country to ensure that it can never happen again. And so I speak as a senator to say we need to fix the laws to ensure that a government can act lawfully and by rule of law to ensure that these things are addressed rather than to go by any process that is not the rule of law.
Louis, what it shows, Louis, is that there's a selective application of law as it relates to law enforcement that should not be countenanced. I will just list 3 situations here. If Farid Ahmad did not crash his vehicle into that trailer that was parked on the side of the road and trapped Michelle Brown inside, we would not have known that a police officer was responsible for the killing of Farid Ahmad. If John and David Ramnares did not have cameras in front of their homes and their neighbors had cameras, we would not have seen the person who we believe to be a police officer going to that home and committing that crime.
Yes.
And if Vivian Ramnares did not say what she said and gave the statement she gave, that would have gone under the rug.
Yes.
Good people in this country have been destroyed by the authorities, Louis.
Yes.
My fight is against that.
Yes. Yes.
Because I've seen it happen too many times.
After the Timbrell family in Camalote continues
in broad
to
daylight, in broad daylight.
Yes.
Louis.
Yes.
Coming out of a pickup truck, running across, jumping the drain, going way into the yard of the cases to deal with somebody extrajudicially and still have their jobs to this day.
Yes.
Huh? That is the other part of it. Still have their jobs to this day. Nobody arrested, nobody charged, no justice. So now here we have it, that there's a cover-up or attempted cover-up of an abduction of a Belizean citizen. Listen, I will say this, and please, just give me a lie with this one. The Pharisees and the Sadducees said they gave Christ due process. Hold on. They went out to the multitudes and said, after Pilate was trying to do his best to wash his hands, give us Barabbas. Give us Barabbas. No, the truth of the matter is, Louis, if Barabbas wasn't given to them, Christ would not have died for our sins. So a good thing came out of a bad man being given to the multitude. In this case, we have Barabbas. In order for a good thing to happen for the rest of us out here in this society, the murderer, the thief, the rapist has not been given due process, so due process must be given to us now because it's our constitutional right. And when you have the top law enforcement officer having all the information at his disposal, having seen the footage, come out on the national media and address the nation of Belize. He's supposed to be the most credible law enforcement officer in the land and blatantly lies to the public. How can you feel safe? How can our children feel safe when the persons who are charged with the responsibility to enforce the law will not only break it, but cover it up? This is not something that we can take lightly, Louis. Not something that we can take lightly at all. We have to let the chips fall where they may, and if the chips fall on the head of the commissioner and anybody else involved, so be it, for the interest of the Belizean public. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you. You have to say, I rest my case.
Take care, my brother. Take care.
Well said. Well said. Definitely, we want to get to the bottom of it, and let the chips fall where they may. I believe in that as well. Let the chips fall where they may, because we cannot allow. Again, I will say it. We cannot allow state actors to not follow the rule of law. Like the rule of law is the foundation upon which our entire society is built upon. So we know that the rule of law was violated for sure. That is not a doubt. And we need to investigate and have the independent investigation. I've said that before, because we want to know what happened. This is not about hiding what happened. And I've said before, Brother Fem, that if the state is involved, the state needs to come clean with the Belizean people. I've said that. And I agree, let the chips fall where they may. However, that is not the end. The end is the rectifying of the Bail Act. The rectifying of the Bail Act. The improvement of that criminal act. I forget the name, specific name that Arthur used. That needs to be fixed. And perchance, because in our country, in Belize, the Constitution takes away the rights of prisoners in certain areas. For example, your freedom of movement. I mean, you're not got freedom of movement when you're not a prisoner, right? You're incarcerated. Prisoners are not allowed to vote. You vote when you come out of prison, but there are some liars that they try fight for prisoners' vote. I don't agree with it, but it's a worthy argument. What constitutional rights should prisoners have and not have is important. That argument needs to continue and laws develop properly. And in this country, if you declare bankruptcy, as my good old friend, may he rest in peace, Derek Aikman couldn't run for office again. Derek Aikman couldn't vote because the Constitution and the laws, the Constitution removes the right of a bankrupt person to participate in politics. The Constitution removes the right, as I said, of prisoners. And I dare say our Constitution needs to, even after a pedophile has served their time, the Constitution needs to restrict the movement and the access to information such as the internet from convicted pedophiles even after. And I hope this government does it, and I hope this government sees how a fraudster and a trickster and an international, I call him one homegrown, because he was homegrown right there, I believe, to become an international criminal and international kidnapper over the Guatemala. He grew up here. He's one of us. Our Constitution needs to restrict convicted pedophiles. I don't care if they're a pastor, I don't care if they're a priest, I don't care who they are. Convicted pedophiles who have served their time need to continue to be under certain restrictions so that a Joseph Ryan Budna cannot reinvent himself in the public domain and go on to create destabilization of the democratic country of Belize. Brother Fem, your closing comments.
Thank you, Pastor. It's 3 minutes to 9. This morning I sit right here and say, God, thank you that I could hear. You know, so we got to give God thanks for opportunity like this, that there are people out there fighting to make these laws take their place. And I want to say again, Pastor, thank for your patience, your time you took to put this wonderful information out to the people, and they decide. But as I say, make we decide the right thing, we're good for the country. Yes, that's my thought.
Thank you, Brother Fem. As I said, I gave my closing comments again. It's a pleasure to have you with me this morning, and may you increase in your health and strength.
Yes,
and to my beautiful Belize, as I said, the words that I speak, I weigh them almost 24 hours a day, except when I sleep, to ensure that when I speak, I try to the best of my ability to be fair and just and not judgmental. I have not accused Ryan Budna of anything that is just an accusation. I am not judging him. I not say nothing about he are burning in hell. I not say nothing that they should beat her. I not say nothing that is not factual. I am not making accusations. Everything that I have said is thought out. Is thought out. And so essentially, I don't really care if people like or don't like what I have to say, or agree or don't agree with what I have to say, because I have never, I don't stamp of approve the vigilante. I believe if we can identify who did it, they need to be punished. I don't believe that the state is involved, and I said if the state is involved, they need to come clean and let the chips fall where they may. I fully believe that. But I believe Ryan Budna need to finish his. God not interested in a Belize constitution and Guatemala constitution, and because those are human documents. God is interested in justice. And too many children have been violated by Joseph Ryan Budna, and he needs to suffer the consequences of his repeated violations of children. From all of us here at Rise and Shine, God bless. But the state must not take justice into its own hands. The rule of law must prevail, and where there is no rule of law on these matters, we need to create those laws to ensure that all state players follow the rule of law. It is the foundation of a democratic society. God bless you, Belize. It's 9 o'clock. We're out of here.
Yes.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go?